Hi, welcome back everyone. This is Art Vile and you're watching a series of Bleeps and Crashes where we talk about pretty much anything we want to talk about that we feel is important. Today we're going to talk about my COVID-19 testing experience. It's important. I want to give you a little bit of background as to why I'm doing this video. And me and my family were going to take a weekend trip, and the question started to come up is it safe? Are we following proper protocol to maintain the spread of this COVID-19 that's happening? And so we all came to a conclusion, begrudgingly, because I wanted to just cancel the whole thing, to go ahead and all the adults take a COVID-19 test. And that's how this video came about. I was actually waiting for the results so that I can share them with you as we move along in this video. So here we go, guys. I'm gonna kind of walk you through it step by step as to how this went through as fast as I possibly can, with the hopes that maybe it'll eliminate some fear, bring up some questions. You know, you can make up your own decision after that, but I think it's important that we start to share this kind of information because, let's face it, we're not getting well informed. So last time I checked in the CDC website, it shows that minorities in the LA County are leading with most infections. So I don't know what it is that we're doing wrong, but myself included, I want to take whatever steps necessary to be safe and to make sure everyone else is safe in my community. So COVID test, let's get to it. First off, you know, make sure you are sanitizing everything at all times. This is my handy gel hand sanitizer that I carry with me everywhere, including my car and anytime I go out. I went onto the website for CVS.com. This was the easiest option for me, being that I have no health insurance. Like most Americans, there is really a hard way to get any kind of health insurance out there. No need to worry. This test was done for free. I went online. I actually did it from my phone through the app. You'll see the links above or below at the end of this video on how to do it. It's a quick 5 to 15 second, literally, intake, if you will. Some of the questions are like, why are you applying for this test? The main thing is that you show any kind of symptoms. There's also an option to choose other, and other basically choose why you want to take this test. Now, I had worked out the night before. I'm just starting to work out now, and my muscles were a little sore. And one of the options was, are your muscles sore? So I went ahead and went with that one, just in case, because I wasn't showing any symptoms of this COVID-19, but I still wanted to take the test so that I can go to a social gathering of 10 people or less and enjoy myself and know that everyone there is COVID-free as well. Another question that was asked on the app as the intake is for your social security number or your driver's license or ID number. You know, information I don't really feel comfortable sharing, but for the sake of making sure my health is okay, I went ahead and shared in order to move forward. So just in case, you will have to put that information. Fast forward to the options. It's really hard to get an appointment nowadays. There are several locations that do them, not just CVS. Please look at your websites for your county or anything. Just try to look for this test whenever they're administering it. I happened to find an appointment at 3 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. I was on my phone. I checked my local CVS and there was a slot opening for a few days out. I went ahead and booked the appointment, and I had a drive-through appointment. So I believe they're only doing them at the CVS's that have the drive-through option. So there I went. I had my appointment on the 12th, I believe, and I went and did the drive-through. There was a few cars ahead of me. I was nervous the entire time. Didn't know what to expect. I mean, how can this test be administered via drive-through? Was beyond me, but they found a way to do it. When it was my turn, they asked for my information. I had all the credentials and the confirmation for the appointment on my phone. I conveyed that to the person working at CVS behind the glass. You're behind the glass the entire time, and they're just kind of like a gas station or a bank, kind of like shoving things behind a bandit barrier. They hand me this bag. I have the bag here. I'm not going to share the name for trademark and copyright infringements, but it's a brown bag. Inside the brown bag, there's this bag, which contains a vial. Now this is not the vial. I just grabbed it so you can kind of see what it looks like. It had a Q-tip that was packaged properly and sealed properly in this paper here. And it had instructions inside as to what you have to do. However, the CVS worker is also walking you step by step. Very nice, very professional. They tell you exactly what to do. Okay, so I rip open the bag. This one's falling apart, but it's intact when they give it to you. I pull out the Q-tip, remove it from the packaging. And this is the hard part, you guys. There's a lot of talk out there as to it's painful, and it's not painful. I wouldn't go as far as to say that it's painful, but it does have a lot to do with your biology. And what I mean by that is the way you were born. You know, if you have a long nostril passage, this is not going to hurt as much. If you have a shorter nostril passage, it's going to hurt. And not pain, but discomfort. Let's put it this way. As soon as I did it, I got a little bit of teary-eyed just because of the uncomfortable feeling of having a Q-tip, you know, that's a little bit larger than this, all the way up my nose. And the woman at the CVS counter that was working says, hey, the whole white portion of the Q-tip has to be gone. I shouldn't be able to see it, which meant that I had to continue to put it further and further up. You guys, at a certain point, it felt like I was touching my brain. I know that's not possible, but it did feel slightly uncomfortable. So if that's the most pain that you have to go through, so to speak, pain, then it's not bad at all, guys. I would recommend you doing it. So the uncomfortable part is that you have to actually swish it around for 15 seconds, while she's counting and you're counting. And then the same side of the Q-tip that's probably has some mucus on it, for lack of a better word, has to then be taken out of that nostril and placed into the other nostril, almost like cross-contaminating it, but it's your own bodily fluid, so hey, what are you gonna do? And so you repeat the same thing, 15 seconds swirling around. The whole part of the white Q-tip has to be disappeared in your nostril. So if you have a small nostril passage, it's gonna be a little bit like jabbing yourself in there, and that's never comfortable, I'm sure. So that's really the hardest part. Once you do that, then you open up the vial that's inside this bag to begin with. You dip the Q-tip in there, close it with the top securely, put it back in the bag, put it back in the brown bag that was given to you. We're not disclosing any names here. Place it in the bag, everything, right? Wrap up the bag, and there's a deposit, like a metal stainless steel type of slide thing where you place all the stuff in, close it. The woman on the other side, or the CVS worker, man or woman, whoever they are, will receive it. And then that's it. The whole thing can really be done in less than 5 minutes, you guys. Just follow the step-to-step instructions. The hard part, of course, as we all know, is waiting for the results. Now, some places do it immediately, depending on how they do the test, but I had to wait about 5 to 7 business days is what they told me. And they went all the way to the 7th day. So you could imagine what my nights were like. Pretty sleepless in Seattle, yeah. I'm in LA, by the way. So my results finally came back, and I'm very happy to say that I'm negative. I will share my results right now in a minute, so you can see, of course, blanking out my personal information. But kind of a very tricky situation. Now, if you're like most people that I've talked to, this whole COVID thing is really getting in the psyche of people. Just the thought of it, or the thought of someone having it, really starts to create kind of like ghost symptoms. And you start telling yourself, am I exposed? Do I have it? Am I showing symptoms of it? Even though you're not. So I think there's a lot of stuff that's gonna come out after this is studied really well to show that it has some side effects. Anyway, this story ended up being a good one in my situation. Please take those extra steps and efforts to make sure that the people around you are safe. We all have children, those of us that do, those of us that don't. One day you want to have children, so we got to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves and our community and the world for that matter. And we're only going to do that if we collectively start taking steps to ensure that we're all safe. Thank you very much again for watching. This is Art Vile signing off. A series of bleeps and crashes. Thank you so much for tuning in, and remember, keep subscribing so that we can keep making these videos, and really we're having a lot of fun with it, and thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.